Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Haley and you're watching Between the Pages. I have a couple of book reviews for you today, and the first one is The Beholder by Anna Bright. Now, this is one of those books that I got from Bookmarks. It is a Fairy Loot edition, so I was very excited to find that. You don't usually see them in secondhand bookstores, but I found this one. So this is a romantasy about a girl named Sella who is in love with her best friend. And in this society, like, your parents like propose on behalf of you. And so she proposes to her best friend, and her best friend is like, yeah, I'm not in love with you. I'm in love with someone else. And so she feels so dejected. And her stepmother is like an evil stepmother, like out of a fairy tale, like she's trying to get rid of her. So she sends her across the sea to find a husband. And the story kind of evolves from there. Now, I did like this book, but the only thing that kind of like made me angry was, well, not really angry, but like frustrated me, was I have no idea who the love interest is. Like, her and the captain of the ship, the Beholder, hints by the name, the Beholder, that's the name of the ship that she takes. They've got like some like chemistry and like things going on. So I was like, okay, is the captain the love interest? And then she's been set up on like courting dates with these different princes. And so she gets to England, and the prince there is like older, like he's in his 40s. It's very much like something you would expect from like the Tudors, where a young girl marries an old guy. Kind of was accepted back then. But it actually turns out that like her guard that has been like assigned to her is the prince, and they didn't want her to know that he was the prince, so they'd know whether or not like she actually cared for him or not. So yeah, and of course she's understandably pissed that she's like, you lied to me, like why couldn't you just been like who you are? I really cared about you. So she leaves. And then they go to, I can't remember the name of the country, but I keep wanting to call it Norway, but it's like fantasy Norway, basically. That's another thing, is I don't know if this is a fantasy or not. It's very historical fiction, but then there's like this like book of fairy tales that her grandmother gives her, and there's like a radio inside the book of fairy tales, and at some point she like loses the frequency that her grandmother is talking to her on, and she ends up hearing something that sounds like Hansel and Gretel. So I'm like, okay, like we've got some fantasy elements, but I don't know if it's actually fantasy. So I'm hoping that'll be delved into more in the sequel. Again, I don't know when I'm going to read that, because I'm doing my video project now, so I don't know. Hopefully it'll be early next year or mid-year of next year. But anyway, she goes to Fantasy Norway, as I like to call it. And this is the country that has like 7 sons or something, and like sons and daughters. And like, it's very appealing to Sella because she would be able to take her husband back to her home country, which is what she wants, because he has no throne to inherit, because he has older brothers and like an older sister and everything. That's like her whole goal, is to get home, because her father's like dying, supposedly being poisoned by her stepmother. So again, it's very fairy tale-esque, I guess you could say. But yeah, so at the point that I am now, Sella has left Fantasy Norway, and her fiance that she's proposed to, because he wants her to like go and do what she wants. Like, he's very much like, I want you to be independent, and I want you to have a life outside of me and everything. And he's very honorable. I do like him. But I'm just like, but her and the captain still have this thing going on. And then she could always go back and like marry Bear. I forget what the actual prince's name, because they only call him Bear when he's like in his guard form or whatever. So yeah, that was my review for The Beholder by Anna Bright, and I will see you guys later. Bye!